Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is our Rice News analyst, Emmanuel Ifeni. Malabite.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning.
Yes, we'll start the review with this day Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, aftermath of Adamu Omisore's ouster. APC National Working Committee postpones Caucus NEC meetings. Kyari takes over as acting capacity. PDP chief Chidoka suggests Southeasterner as chairman. Yes, I think what we just heard is like Osita Chidoka poking his nose into APC's matter. That's what Osita has just said. But I think he raised the point, which I think should be considered. Let's leave the messenger and his background and look at the message. But, of course, yesterday, it became clear that the days of Adamu and Omisore at the APC headquarters gone for good for now. Now, Abubakar Kyari, now the acting chairman, and of course, Festus Fuanta is the acting national secretary of the APC. Of course, the side effects, the sidebars, the losers and the winners of this battle, I think in the days ahead, we'll see more to it. But of course, the sins in quote now of Adamu has been well documented. And one of them happens to be his announcing a consensus candidate ahead of the APC convention, where Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerged with the party's ticket to run for the February 23 general election. Now, as to whether President Buhari had a choice, whether he had an anointed candidate, Adamu said that much. And it was public statement. Could he just be dropping the name of the president? But if we have to go back a little bit, the president then, President Muhammadu Buhari, called the governors and he told them, I have allowed you to nominate your successors. Also, allow me to nominate my successor. At least that is also in the public space.
And that's on record.
Yes. Except that the president then did not have the courage of an Olusegun Obasanjo, who as president called the governors and told them, that is my next president, Musa Yar'Adua. Go and work for him. Simple. And remember when he made that statement then, among the PDP governors, of course, somebody raised his hand. Sir, are you saying we don't have a say? Of course, he told that governor, I know you will raise your hand. I don't want to mention that name. Now, I know you will raise your hand. Go and work for him. But President Buhari did not have that kind of courage. But he did say, I allowed you to nominate your successors. Also, allow me to nominate my own successor. And when Abdullahi Adamu, the chairman of the party, named Ahmed Lawan, Senate President, as the consensus candidate and referenced the fact that he has the authority of the president to say that, not many doubted where he was coming from. Now, the front page of this day also, 60 lawyers asked court to jail DSS DG for disobeying order on Emefiele's release. It's shameful security agencies failed to arrest Asari Dokubo, yet charges suspended CBN governor, says group. Of course, a group of lawyers yesterday, a consortium of lawyers, that's how this is referred to them, led by Mr. Maxwell Okpara and Ahmed Tijani, of course, asking the DSS to obey the order of court concerning the detained former suspended CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. And of course, that happens to be the topic. The editor of This Day Lawyer, in her column, The Advocate, yes, Onikepo Braithwaite wrote on Emefiele, the rule of law may prevail. And of course, this is about the rule of law. If we're in a democracy, we are not running a Gestapo state, and if the courts have so ordered, I think the DSS should do well to ensure that the CBN governor is released. They have charged him and the 2 counts relating to illegal possession of firearms. Remember, when the DSS were looking for Emefiele to arrest him when Buhari was still in power, they came out with the statement that he's been looked for because of his support for terrorism, financing terrorism. But surprisingly, now they have gone to court, they've charged him after the court also asked that he be released or charged, and they are now talking of something else. It means the DSS arrested Emefiele and are now scavenging for charges. I don't think that's how things should work. But the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, may just have a say in this, because in one of his recent outings, he referenced how it was like condemning Emefiele already.
How rotten the central bank was.
So if the DSS is playing to the tune of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we need to remind everyone, we are not running a Gestapo state. This is a democracy. If a man has committed any offense, take him to court. If the court grants him bail, let him go home and continue to face his trial. That is the rule of law. We expect nothing less from this administration. Now, the Punch newspaper audit report nails Adamu Omisore as Tinubu governor's shop for new chair. Aggrieved National Working Committee members welcome Adamu's removal. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper, I just look at the story below the photograph. Armed forces ready to battle insecurity, defend democracy. Chief of Defense Staff, Lagbaja Nigerian Army most misunderstood, complex, challenged. Yes, but as to the battle against insecurity, I think the CDS has said it all. That battle must be taken to all the forests where bandits, terrorists who are troubling this nation are hiding. And I don't agree with the vice president who is saying, oh, don't attack them. If you attack them, No. These guys have been given enough room, and now is the time to deal with them squarely as it was, so that we can have security in this country. Now, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, this story below the photograph. Customs intercepts arms, ammunition at Lagos port. Troops impound truckload of ammunition going to Anambra. Police seize 13 million naira cannabis in Lagos. A lot of arms flowing into the country for these non-state actors who are disturbing the peace of the nation. So the security of our borders must be top on the agenda of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, the Guardian newspaper, Nigeria spends over 99% revenue to service debt as inflation bites harder. Now, the Daily Trust also reporting tough times. Tough time for families as inflation soars to 7-year high. Food beyond reach. Citizens, Kwara, Lagos, Kogi, worst hit. Zamfara, Sokoto, Borno list. Women begin strike in Taraba. I hope the women will not go on strike in Lagos. Ruben, that will be catastrophic. The women are going on strike in Taraba to protest. Tough time.
I hope not in the fashion of Aristophanes' Lysistrata.
Now we look at the foreign newspapers quickly. In foreign newspapers, the Times of London, new era for Alzheimer's after drugs slows decline. NHS in talks over treatment amid hopes it could be approved for patients by end of the year. Of course, donanemab can offer some people at least a year of extra time without their disease progressing. A global trial found in what researchers said was a defining moment for dementia treatment. Well, science making strides, and I think this is good news for those who are suffering for Alzheimer's disease. Now, the Washington Post, Bowser chooses police chief, one-time leader of Park Police, Pamela Smith, nominated as violence source. Now, the mayor of Washington has appointed Pamela A. Smith as DC police chief. Of course, the woman just joined the New York police chief, but she had already excelled in U.S. as U.S. Park police chief. But her coming in 14 months, she has headed, of course, the department on diversity in her 14 months, and also headed the department on homeland security, which is one of the top security positions. So Pamela Smith, a black woman, she's ready for the job, new in DC police, but she's ready for the job, has the pedigree, and can also ensure diversity.
Well, two quick things. The first one is what I saw as breaking story. Daily Trust newspaper, and Daily Trust is a credible platform, is saying that fuel price has gone up to 617 naira per liter in Abuja. And not just in Abuja, at NNPC filling stations. You know the effort some people make to go and look for NNPC filling station, knowing that the price
it's 488 in Lagos, yes. NNPC stations, while it's 496 in other places.
But now they say it's... I see you're an expert in monitoring NNPC.
No, I have to.
But they say it's 617. If NNPC is selling at 617, then the rest of us are in trouble. The donor map that you referred to, Eli Lilly, that's the U.S. pharmaceutical company that came up with it after doing phase 3 trials, and they reported that yes, it's going to help with dementia. They're not all categories of dementia. They cannot treat vascular, but the people who have Alzheimer's disease, it can control for at least about up to 60% and prolong life for up to 1 year. So it's a major turning point again for science in terms of this discovery. And their next step is to go to the FDA to seek approval. And in the UK, the NHS is already considering it, but the earliest time that is possible for them to begin to dispense it will be 2025. Okay, so, but again, I know you are always interested in all these health issues, but it made front pages
yes.
this morning. Thank you very much, Emmanuel.